Okay, today we're creating a simple text logo to go onto a web page. We're going to use a program called paint.net. It's available as a free download from filehippo.com. It's a very easy to use program, and it's good for image manipulation and also any kind of paint type related work like this. Okay, so firstly let's create a new canvas. Okay, so just quickly, web pages often around about 960 pixels and wider, so depending on what size image or what size logo you want to have, where you're going to put it on your page, how it's going to be displayed determines the sizing. But for this particular tutorial, I'm just going to go with 400 pixels by a depth of 300 pixels, and might increase the resolution a little bit. Okay. Alright, now we have a white canvas. Firstly, we want to make it a transparent background so that when we put our logo over the top of a background, whether it's a gradient background or an image background or an actual website, we want the logo to be displayed prominently and without the white space around it. So we can use the magic wand and select. I'm just going to press the delete button on the keyboard. You can see now this pattern is to show that the background is now transparent. Okay, we're going to use the text button, so just click on here. Okay, it's blue at the moment for text. Might change the color. So if you just look down here, we have a little color palette here, and there's the option of clicking on more to choose other colors. I'm going to just choose the purple color here. Okay, you can see it's changed color. All different types of fonts available for you. For this one, I'm going to use this font. Okay, alright, so I've worked out the font that I want to use, the color that I want to use, so now I'm going to type in some text. So Ben's, okay, we'll call this Ben's Stone Walls. So it's let's say it's a business. I'll make this a little bit bigger. Let's go 96. Okay, let's just move that down the page a little bit so it's a bit more centered. Okay, looks okay. Now, just click on here, the select button. You can also move it this way as well, but that looks pretty good in that spot. I'm going to change the color for the next piece of text. So again, text, pop it here. This time I might go a blue color. Alright, and I want this a bit smaller. Okay, let's try this. Stone walls. Whoops. Stone walls. Okay. Just move that into place. Select button. Okay. So now you can see when I move it, it's moving everything together. Now all of this is in the one layer, so the layers is down here. And you can see that if you make a mistake, you can use this to go back through the history, back button, forward button, etc. Okay, so I'm happy with that. That's just a very basic logo. Now I want to enhance it a little bit. So I'm going to give it a little bit of a white border around it. So first thing I'm going to do is copy, and then I'm going to paste in a new image. Okay, if you see that the top right hand side here, top right hand corner, I've got two images now, and I can navigate between the two. So that's the first one. I'm just moving on to the second one. Alright. So what I want to do now is I want to change the text here and make it a little bit larger, and I'm going to make it white so that I can actually use it as a background for the original text. The technique I'm going to use is using the effects. Firstly, pencil sketch, so artistic pencil sketch, and those settings are quite good. The pencil tip size changes the way it looks. You can see it's moving and it's changing. So I want it around about there. I just want a little bit of white inside there. The range, see again, the range affects the way it looks as well. Okay. Back to about where the settings were before. So you can see the pencil tip size is on 8, the range is on -5. I think I like that, so let's click OK. Alright. You can see there's a lot of different techniques you can use up here, a lot of different tools depending on what you want to achieve with your logo. You can experiment with it and see what happens as well. In this case, we're going to Effects, Stylize the outline. Okay, now the outline is going to change the outline of the shape. So if I just move this across to the right hand side, you'll be able to see. Oops. Okay, so the thickness of the outline is the top part, and the intensity of the outline is here. You can see that there's a nice prominent outline there. What I want to actually do for this, because I'm going to use it as a background for the other text, is I'm going to just shift this to the left until I get rid of the outline so that I really just have mainly white. Okay, just there will be fine. Excellent. So what I'm going to do, and I'll just quickly show you, is I'll navigate back to the first one, and I'll just copy that again, and I'll navigate back to my second image, and I'm just going to paste it into a new layer. So paste into new layer. There you go. So now you can see the original text now has that little bit of a white border around it, which will help it to stand out from the page. That's exactly what I wanted to do there. That looks good. Okay, but firstly, we'll just undo that. Okay, firstly, I want to create the next part of my background because I'm going to give it a little bit of a shadow as well. So I'll take this image number 2 that we're working with, and I'm going to copy it. Oops, I just need to select it first. Edit, copy, and I'm going to paste it into a new image this time. Okay, so now we have, oops, that didn't work. Why didn't that work? That didn't work at all. Alright, let's try that again. Okay. Alright. So I've just moved back just to that stage where I did the pencil sketch and the outline. Okay. So we now have that outline that we worked on before. Alright, so this time select, edit, copy, and edit, paste into a new image. There we go. That looks better. So now we have 3 images at the top. And with this last image, I'm going to make this a shadow for the actual text background. So what I'll do now is I want to make it darker firstly. So we go adjustments, let's use levels. Okay, you can see already it's darker. Basically I'm just moving the levels down. So if they were back up there, you'd see they'd be still quite light. Just move the levels down. You can just drag these little bits here. That'll be fine. Just to a darker grey. That looks good. Now, for a shadow, I want to create more of a shadow effect. So I'm going to use a blur tool. Effects, blurs. The Gaussian blur is good. Okay. You can see, I'll move this down so that you can see. The more that I move it to the side, to the right, the more it increases the radius of the blur. And of course, if you move it to the left, that's where we started. So what I want to do is just move it a little bit to create a slightly larger blur about there. That looks pretty good, I think. Okay. Alright, so now I have three parts to my logo. I have the color text, I have the white border, and I have the background shadow. So now I'm going to combine them. So firstly, go back to the first one and we'll copy that. And now I'm going to paste it into the layer. So I choose the second one, the border, the white border, edit, paste into new layer. Okay, that's the nice one that I wanted to do. Now, this is where I went wrong before, where I just copied, and of course there's two layers. So what I need to do is actually combine the two layers, and we do that by going to Image, Flatten. And you can see now we have just one layer. Okay, so select that, edit, copy, go to the shadow background, and edit. This time we're pasting it into a new layer. Okay, that's not bad. You can see there's the logo and a little bit of a shadow around it. What I'm going to do is just move the text up a little bit and just across a little bit and edit. Actually, no, that looks pretty good. And you can see, looking at that, it looks like that text is now raised off the page. So let's flatten, make it into one layer again. Okay, and now we will save. Okay, so now we have our text logo. Now I want to put it on the web page so that you can see how it works. So I've just created over here a page. This could be your website background, and I'm going to add that image onto this page. Okay, so you can see different places I could put it. In this case, I'm just putting it over here, and there you see. You have a nice, simple logo with the text, a nice little border around it, and a slight shadow around it, just to make it so that it stands out from the page, so that it doesn't actually look like, oops, so it doesn't look like it's actually just on the wall itself. It looks like it stands out. You can see it's a nice effect. That's how you create a simple logo using Paint.net.